Hello, this is your commissioner at ABBL, rounding up the season 19 results, which was the first season of Blood Bowl 2025. In last place on the league table this season with the wooden spoon was a rookie, a newcomer with Tomb Kings. Rob Isaacs was unfortunately the leakiest defense, giving up a lot of touchdowns. He had a bit of a rough time of it mid-season. Best newcomer, of which we had three rookies, was Stephen Steer with his Black Orcs. Not a bad record there with the 6 touchdowns. Unfortunately, missed round 6. Could have placed even higher. Unfortunately, a lot of casualties were suffered mid-season, particularly round 3 and 4. The most suffering teams across the whole season were the Dark Elves and the Underworld Denizens, both suffering 17 casualties across the 6 games. Must have been hard to manage. Okay, then we'll move on to our 1-win teams. These are teams that might have had some draws in the mix too. They were in 19th place out of 20, Stuart Graham, another rookie. Quite a few casualties there with his Bretonians. 18th place, Matthew Rick. 17th, Carl Sanson with the Orcs. Quite high casualties for both of those teams as well. Carl did not suffer very many. And then jumping up to 10th place, even with one win, was David Durrell with the Bretonians again. Next, I'll go through some 2-win teams. There are 8 coaches here with 2 wins. 16th place for Matt Anthony. 15th Simon Kirby with the Nurgle Chaos Boys together there. Then 14th with Vampires was Ash Rowe. 13th was the much bashed Andrew Hollos with his Dark Elves 222, a very even record. Then moving higher up the table, we have Bradley Sullivan, who started the season very strongly but slipped off when he suffered a few casualties in the middle at 12th place. Then the highest place Stunty in 9th with Matthew Pinnell and his Ogres, rising high because of that high casualty rate and a few draws in the mid-season too. Then our top rookie in 7th place, Stephen Steer, could have placed even higher. As I said, he did miss one game, so 5 games total scoring in league points. And in 6th place is an Orc team, Alex Basham, with a very high casualty rate there of 16 with a plus 13. So the Orcs gave but did not take very much at all. Moving on to our 3-win teams, we've got 4 of those that didn't podium. Paul Conway was in 11th with a record of 3 wins, 3 losses. Dropped so far down because the losses didn't score him any bonus points. Then moving up to 8th place with Chris Reed with the same record, 3 and 3. Then jump. Oh, I spelled Tom wrong. Tom Wheatley, 303. Sorry, Tom. In 5th place with Underworld Denizens, very respectable. Then 4th place was David Enman, 3 wins, a draw and a loss. Unfortunately, didn't complete the season due to illness, so potentially you could have scored a higher place overall. Okay, we'll pause there in the league table to just mop up a couple of things stats wise. We've got most touchdowns going to the Wood Elves. Good stuff there. And the highest placed, most touchdowns with a joint 9 was David. There were teams lower down with the same amount of touchdowns. He will get a prize when we next see him. And then most casualties, so again, someone that's not on the top 3 will then look down to who's got the most casualties after that, and it was some Orcs with the Mighty Blow. Not too surprising, they had 16 casualties, and then just behind them, honorary mentions for Matthew with his Ogres and Alex G with OWA on 15 casualties. They were not the highest overall casualties, one of the podium got more. So the MVP vote this season, I think predominantly a nod to the work he did pre-season and the sheets that he makes for us. No surprising that our Ogre coach, Mr. Pinnell, with his work on the Excel behind the scenes, got a lot of people's attention and gratitude. So thank you to you. Notably, runner-up was Paul. So congratulations, runner-up Paul too. So, interestingly, the decider of the entire season ended up being the coach that gave away the most points. So, the deciding coach of the season was a Black Orc coach, Matthew Ricks. The second and third place were determined by who beat him by the most touchdowns. So that's a notable honorary mention there. And the first place actually beat him as well. So giving up all the prizes, Matthew. So third place goes to the OWA with Alex's team with 3 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. Quite high casualty score there, and quite high overall touchdowns. Looking at the rest of the league too, just missed out in that final round because second place beat him with an overall touchdown score. I believe it was Ben's team with 3 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. Same touchdowns, but a higher touchdown plus, I think it was. And as I said, when he played Matthew, Ben beat Matthew 3-0, and Alex beat Matthew 2-0, which ended up being the decider for the second and third places. So those of you keeping track will not be surprised that our season 19 winner is Chris Latham with his Orcs, a huge casualty score there and a plus 18, possibly giving you some insight into how it was that he pulled off the podium spot there for season 19. So congratulations to Chris. He then receives a playoff golden ticket. So if anyone read the blurb at the beginning of the year, you would have seen that we have the 3 seasons over the course of the year, which gives us 18 matches. And that will generate 4 coaches' tickets to the playoff in match 19, match 20, late in November, maybe early December. So the winner of each season plus the winningest coach for the year will receive a playoff golden ticket, and we will do something fabulous with some prizes at the end of the year for them. I have been keeping track of some race versus race. I was trying to tell some people at League Night last week about this Orc stat here. They seem to be balanced or winning against a lot of teams, except for an unlucky loss against the Somnings and a recent loss against Vampires there. So Orcs very much in ascendancy at the moment. We've also kept track of the coach versus coach statistics in case anyone plays each other again over the next couple of seasons. We'll see if someone's got overall dominance against someone else or not. We'll keep that going. And I've been tracking the types of results that we have as well, just to make sure that our point system makes sense and sense check what's rare and what's common. You can see there that there are a high proportion of draws and 2-1 wins there. I think it's quite interesting. And then this is what the league looked like round by round. Round 1 and round 2 is quite even with the casualties and touchdowns as people were growing up their team, and then something happened in round 3 where everyone has started killing everyone's players and scoring less. So I don't know what happened there. Round 4 even more killy, but the touchdowns resumed. So an interesting shape to the season. And a couple of talking points. If we were giving a bonus point for 3 casualties, incidentally, then the winning teams would have been Orcs, Ogres, possibly all because they're starting with the Mighty Blow and the Brawling Brutes. So Chris would have won in that scenario, followed by second place Orcs, Alex Basham, followed by Matthew with his Ogres in third place. Just an interesting thought there. And at League Night, we will be debating some of these interesting talking points below that have arisen from season 19 and the new Blood Bowl 2025. Not everyone will be at the League Night, so we will put some polls out to resolve these things if they're not resolved by a May FAQ. So we'll see what happens there. And just in case anyone still doesn't quite understand why I made the changes for the points, etc., I've got the season 16 to 18 points that you would have got from different results in the middle column, and then what I did in season 19. And you can see that I've moved a 3-0 win down from 5 points, so I thought I was too strong. But I think seeing how rare that was as a result, I may reverse that decision moving forward. I moved 1-0 down from 4 points to 3 because otherwise a 3-point win was almost non-existent there. There needs to be something that determines the difference between a 3-point win and a 4-point win. They can't all be 4-point wins. And additionally, I moved the 0-0 draw down from 2 points to 1 point because I don't believe that 0-0 is better than 2-2 or 1-1. So we need to differentiate our draws there. Under the old system, a 2-2 or a 1-1 was almost as bad as a loss, but much more achievable than 0-0 or 3-3. So I reversed those and I intend to stick to those. I also implemented a bonus point for a 3-2 loss or a 2-1 loss just as it feels good for those coaches and keep them as a catch-up mechanic on the league table. That one's up for debate as well, but I think it kept a lot of coaches in the mix when we got to round 6. 10 coaches could have podiumed. If we stuck to the old way in season 16, season 8, that reduced down to 6. So in the interest of keeping people in the game, the changes I made achieved that. That just leaves a thank you for your conduct and your sportsmanship over the season. I look forward to seeing everyone for season 20. Sign-ups for that are live as of the 9th of this month.